Hello students, today we will study about double fertilization in plants. In my last video, I had explained you about the structure of male gamete pollen grain and female gamete ovule. Now, I will explain you how fertilization takes place in a flowering plant. This is the structure of pistil. From here to here, this is the structure of pistil, that is a female part of a flower. You all know other parts of a flower, the sepals, the petals, the stamens and the pistil. Now pollen grains have been deposited on the top of stigma. Then each pollen tube will germinate by developing a pollen tube. This pollen tube contains three nuclei. One is the generative nucleus, the other is the tube nucleus, and afterward I had told you that this generative nucleus, it divides into two sperm nuclei. So in all there are three nuclei present in the pollen tube. Now this pollen tube will grow towards a style and to ovary and will enter inside the embryo sac. That means inside the ovule through micropyle. You can see there is a small nucleus that is called tube nucleus. This tube nucleus will guide this pollen tube towards the ovule. When it enters inside, this tube nucleus will disappear. It will degenerate. Then these two sperm nuclei will enter inside this ovule, this embryo sac. Now what will happen? There two fertilization will take place. As I had told you the structure of this ovule, there are 7 cells present, 3 antipodal cells, 2 polar nuclei in the central cell, and 1 is egg cell and 1 is synergid. So in all there are 7 cells present. Now how the process of fertilization will take place inside this embryo sac? Out of these 2 sperm nuclei, there are 2 sperm nuclei, they will enter inside the embryo sac. 1 sperm nucleus will fuse with egg cell. This is egg cell here and this is sperm cell. This is sperm cell and this is sperm nucleus and this is egg cell. So 1 sperm nucleus will fuse with egg nucleus or egg cell and it will form zygote. This process of forming zygote is known as syngamy. Second sperm nucleus, because there are 2 sperm nuclei, second sperm nucleus will enter in the central cell and will fuse with these 2 polar nuclei. So in all there are 3, 2 polar nuclei and second sperm nucleus. So second sperm nucleus plus 2 polar nuclei, it will form endosperm. Since 3 nuclei are fusing together, the process is known as triple fusion. The process is known as triple fusion. So one is syngamy, by which zygote is being formed, and the other is triple fusion, by which endosperm is formed, where 3 nuclei are fusing together. Because inside the embryo sac, 2 fertilizations are taking place, the process is known as double fertilization. After this, what happens? Because this is still attached to the parent plant and this is still the part of a flower. So after this double fertilization, what happens to other parts of flower? These are known as post-fertilization changes. So after fertilization has taken place, these sepals which were outside, they will wither and dry. Sometimes they can persist also, as in case of tomato and in brinjal. But normally they wither and dry off and they fall off. Then afterward there were petals. These petals will also dry and they will wither and they will fall off. Then there were stamens. These stamens also they will dry because their function is over now. So these stamens will also dry and they will fall off. Only this portion will remain attached to the parent plant even the stigma can wither, can dry, and it will fall off. This style will also fall, and this ovary, now see these two main changes which are taking place. This is the ovary part will start growing now after fertilization. These are known as post-fertilization changes, children. So this ovary will start growing, it will start developing, and this will be forming the fruit afterward. This ovule, it was ovule where fertilization has taken place. This ovule will develop into seed. So these are two main changes, that ovary, it starts enlarging, and this will be forming the fruit in future, and this ovule which was fertilized, this will be forming seed later on. So these are post-fertilization changes taking place inside the embryo sac. So this is all about double fertilization and post-fertilization changes. Thank you.